Prepare yourself, because what you're about to hear might just flip your understanding of human behavior upside down. These aren't your typical psychology facts. We're diving deep into the secret psychology of women, love, and the mind-blowing truths behind what really goes on beneath the surface of intimacy. Let's start with something many men overlook. After sex, while a man may feel the urge to roll over and drift into sleep, a woman often craves something deeper, continued intimacy. For her, it's not just about the physical release. It's the emotional connection, the lingering warmth, the touch, the closeness. When a woman feels truly sexually satisfied, it sets off a chain reaction, a positive emotional loop that makes her want to repeat that experience again and again. Now here's something truly fascinating. Women who frequently touch or caress their own bodies tend to show higher levels of sex hormones. It's as if their body, through self-awareness and touch, activates its own chemistry, preparing itself for deeper arousal and more intense experiences. And here's a counterintuitive truth many men miss entirely. Bragging about your bedroom skills? That often backfires. Instead of building anticipation, it can set expectations so high that any slip, even minor, leads to disappointment. On the other hand, surprising her with confidence and skill without saying a word often creates a far more powerful and lasting impression. But how do you really know if she's into you? It's all in the eyes. A woman who avoids eye contact, who looks down or away, is often signaling disinterest, even if her words say otherwise. Meanwhile, when she holds your gaze, when her eyes linger just a little too long, that's a signal worth noticing. And here's one of the most jaw-dropping facts of all. Approximately 1% of women are capable of experiencing a full orgasm through breast stimulation alone. It's a reminder that the female body is layered with mystery, capable of pleasure far beyond what we typically imagine. Speaking of anatomy, the clitoris, often misunderstood or overlooked, is a marvel in itself. It is, incredibly, the only human body part that never ages. It remains sensitive and capable of pleasure from youth to old age. And while we're on the topic of orgasm, did you know that the average female orgasm lasts for times longer than a man's? Think about that, for times. No wonder women crave more than just quick encounters. They're wired for deeper, longer-lasting pleasure. But intimacy isn't just about the body. Take this moment. How do I look? A question many women ask. While honesty is a noble trait, in these delicate situations, brutal honesty can hurt more than help. Sometimes, a kind answer goes further than a blunt truth. Now let's switch gears to solitude. Over time, prolonged isolation can lead someone, man or woman, to accept loneliness as normal. But here's the paradox. It's often the fear of being alone that prevents us from unlocking our full potential. True strength comes when you no longer fear solitude, but embrace it. Moving on to something rarely discussed, size. Research shows that most women prefer a male genital length between 8 and 10 centimeters. So despite popular myths and male insecurities, size isn't the defining factor. Compatibility, connection, and confidence matter far more. In fact, 80% of women report testing sexual compatibility before marriage. That's how important emotional and physical chemistry is. And get this, women between ages 40 and 50 often experience more intense orgasms than they did in their youth. Why? Hormonal shifts, life experience, and emotional maturity all play a role. Here's another biological twist. Due to having a lower percentage of body water, women get intoxicated more quickly than men, even with the same amount of alcohol. That's why reactions and boundaries can shift faster than expected, and why responsible awareness is key. Have you ever wondered why women tend to go to the bathroom in groups? It's more than just social bonding. It's often about sharing observations, fixing makeup, and emotionally debriefing after social interactions. These small rituals strengthen female friendships and boost confidence. And during ovulation, a woman's chances of reaching climax increase significantly. Her body is biologically primed for pleasure, desire, and connection. That's not just chemistry. It's evolutionary design in action. Another thing women deeply appreciate: when a man is able to read their nonverbal cues, whether It's the way she plays with her hair, points her feet toward you, or casually stands closer. These signals are part of the silent language of attraction. Miss them, and you might miss your chance. Here's a fun, mind-blowing fact. Human testicles can produce 1,500 sperm every heartbeat. That's biological productivity on a scale we rarely stop to appreciate. And speaking of relationships, did you know that a person can maintain real friendships with up to 150 people throughout their life? It's a cognitive limit, known as Dunbar's number. Beyond that, meaningful connection starts to blur. Now, here's something that might not surprise you when men meet a woman for the first time. 80% will glance at her breasts, often unconsciously. Meanwhile, women, when attracted to someone, tend to lick their lips subtly during conversation, a primal, involuntary cue of desire. Couples who watch adult content together, studies show they tend to have stronger emotional bonds and deeper sexual trust. Shared exploration, rather than secrecy, brings connection. The legendary writer Mark Twain once said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why." In a similar way, understanding the why behind our behavior, and especially the secret psychology of women, helps us navigate love and relationships with clarity and depth. One last surprise: in Western culture, the foot is actually a common object of sexual fetish. Yes, something so ordinary can become something intensely desired, showing how unique and varied human attraction truly is. And if you've ever been told never to cry in front of your wife, it's not always about hiding weakness, but about preserving your role as her source of strength, especially when she needs stability most. When it comes to truly turning a woman on, don't just focus on the genitals, the legs, neck, and breasts. These erogenous zones awaken desire more powerfully when touched with intention. A full-body approach communicates care, patience, and awareness. Want to understand a man's character? Look at the people he surrounds himself with. His friends, their behavior, their mindset speak volumes about who he really is. And don't waste your time arguing with fools. As the saying goes, they'll drag you down to their level, then beat you with experience. And finally, remember this timeless truth: you can regain wealth, a friend, a wife, even your kingdom. But once you lose your body, it can never be recovered. So guard your life, your health, and your energy with wisdom. When faced with evil, whether a person or a situation, you only have two choices: crush it under your boot or walk far away. There's no middle ground with poison. Let's continue peeling back the layers of the mind, particularly the emotional world of women, with more eye-opening truths from psychology and human behavior. Did you know that makeouts, those long, passionate kisses, are significantly more emotional for women than for men? While guys might enjoy the physical sensation in the moment, for women, kissing often taps into something deeper. It's not just lips meeting. Lips, it's an emotional connection, a test of chemistry, and sometimes even a preview of compatibility. That kiss may say more than words ever could. Here's a truth few dare to confront: the fear of death often stems from the fear of truly living. A man who embraces life fully, who walks boldly, who expresses love, chases dreams, and faces pain, that man is ready to die at any time. Why? Because he has no regrets. He has lived. Now let's talk about anger. It's often called a corrosive force, and for good reason. When we carry anger, we don't destroy others. We destroy ourselves. It eats away at the vessel that holds it. Sometimes we think holding onto that anger gives us power, but in truth, it weakens us from the inside out. Back to women and emotions. Fascinatingly, they're more likely to develop romantic feelings after immersing themselves in romantic movies or listening to love songs. Think about it. While men might be stirred visually or physically, women are often moved by stories, by emotion, by feeling. A 2-hour love story can awaken emotions that linger for days, sometimes weeks. Now here's something subtle but powerful. A man's mood affects how attractive he appears to a woman. His energy, presence, and emotional state cast a unique aura. During ovulation, for instance, women become more sensitive to these signals and, interestingly, more prone to consider adultery during this time than at any other point in their cycle. It's biology at play, nature intensifying attraction, even when logic tells her otherwise. Believe it or not, shopping for lingerie with a woman can spark unexpected desire. It's not just about the items, it's about the intimacy, the suggestion, the playfulness of the moment. The idea of vulnerability meets curiosity, and that, for many couples, becomes foreplay in disguise. Time is strange, isn't it? An hour with a delightful woman can pass like a second, light, joyful, unforgettable. Yet a single second sitting on a red-hot coal can feel like an eternity. That's not just philosophy, that's relativity. Time isn't about numbers. On a clock, it's about perception, presence, and emotion. Let's talk scent, something primal and powerful. A man's natural scent, not just cologne, but his unique pheromones, can captivate a woman's interest, sometimes even awaken love. It's ancient chemistry, unspoken, unconscious, but undeniably real. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's not just a proverb, it's a reminder. Everything that seems impossible, overwhelming, or out of reach begins with one action, one choice, one move forward. Women between the ages of 30 and 40 are often more open to sexual fantasies and casual relationships than in their 20s. Life experience, confidence, and emotional freedom all play a role at that stage. Many women know what they want and aren't afraid to explore it. And when it comes to physical desire, it's rarely about just one thing. For most women, peak arousal happens when both genital and nipple stimulation are combined. The body and mind are connected, and when multiple areas are awakened in harmony, the experience becomes fuller, deeper, and far more satisfying. Now let's take a pause for something timeless. Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Focus your mind on the present moment. It's not just meditation advice. It's a way of life, especially in love, especially in intimacy. Being fully present with a woman is one of the most powerful gifts you can give. You may have heard this phrase tossed around, women dress for men. But psychology suggests otherwise. Women dress for themselves. Their outfit choices are influenced by mood, the season, social events, their cycle, waxing, schedules, accessories, and so much more. It's a form of self-expression, not just seduction. And what about women who have regular, fulfilling sex lives? They tend to have stronger libidos and more radiant feminine energy. The connection between intimacy, self-esteem, and energy is real, and when a woman feels desired and confident, it shows in everything she does. Younger women are often drawn to older men, not because of status or appearance, but because of the sense of security they offer. Confidence, life experience, emotional stability, these are powerful aphrodisiacs. It may surprise some, but women aren't always attracted to bulky, muscular men. More often, they're drawn to men who are energetic, healthy, and alive, men who radiate vitality, not just size. The real magnetism comes from within. And here's a beautiful bonus. Frequent sex has been shown to strengthen your immune system. Pleasure, connection, and health all rolled into one. Finally, let's return to the eyes. When a woman maintains eye contact during conversation, it's rarely by accident. It's a sign of interest, engagement, and even attraction. The eyes reveal what the mouth may never say. Here's a fun and surprising fact. The average woman spends 15 to 20 minutes each day just deciding what to wear. It's not about vanity. It's about self-expression, confidence, and how she wants to be seen by the world. Every outfit tells a story. Every choice reflects her mood, energy, or the kind of day she's preparing to face. Now, this next one might catch you off guard. For some women, deep morning penetration in the doggy position is one of the most effective ways to reach orgasm. Morning sex, when the body is well rested and testosterone is at its peak, can be an incredibly intense and satisfying experience, especially when paired with the right position that stimulates her physically and emotionally. Speaking of stimulation, did you know that touching a woman's lips, gently, intentionally, can spark arousal in nearly 70% of women? The lips are rich in nerve endings and deeply connected to sensuality. It's not just a kiss, it's a spark, a signal, a doorway to desire. And here's something almost every guy has wondered. Why are women's purses filled with so many things, from expired receipts and 10 shades of lipstick to old keys and random objects? It might all seem useless, but to her, these items carry potential. Maybe I'll need this one day. Of course, that day rarely comes, but the feeling of being prepared, that matters. Now let's talk about something truly magical and a little misunderstood. Female orgasms don't have an expiration date. That's right. Some women continue to experience powerful climaxes even into their 90s. Sexual pleasure doesn't fade with age. It evolves. With maturity often comes deeper connection, better communication, and less inhibition. But there's a shadow side we don't often talk about. In rare cases, depression or emotional sadness can surface during or after sex, even when physical arousal is present. It's a strange and confusing mix, pleasure in the body, yet heaviness in the heart. This is where emotional support, understanding, and patience become critical in intimacy. Let's shift gears. Ever noticed how a woman's voice changes when she's attracted to someone? Studies show it often becomes quicker and slightly higher in pitch. It's subtle, but evolutionarily, it's a way of signaling interest, femininity, and availability. And if you listen closely during flirtatious moments, you'll hear it. Now here's a science twist that no one saw coming. Semen contains zinc and calcium, both of which are known to help prevent tooth decay. Now, we're not saying this replaces dental hygiene, but it's a bizarre and oddly fascinating fact nonetheless. On the male side of things, foreplay involving the breasts, yes, even for men, can greatly heighten arousal. While often overlooked, the chest area is more sensitive than many assume, and stimulation there activates the nervous system in powerful ways. At this point, if you've made it this far, it means you're curious, open-minded, and willing to look beyond surface-level ideas of love and desire. That alone makes you rare. So let me ask you something. Have you learned something new today? Did any of these truths surprise you or challenge what you thought you knew? Or did it all just finally make sense? If you're nodding along, that means the knowledge is landing. And that's the whole point of this video. Not to shock, not to entertain, but to open your eyes to how much more there is to human connection than we're ever taught. If you've made it all the way to this point, drop a simple okay in the comments. That's our way of knowing you're part of the small group that actually seeks depth and understanding. And if this resonated with you, or if it challenged something inside you, share it with a friend, a partner, or someone who needs to hear it. These are conversations worth spreading. Want more content like this? Check out the next recommended video on your screen. We promise it dives even deeper. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and remember, the more you understand, especially about the secret psychology of women, the more powerful, respectful, and fulfilling your relationships will become. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay strong, stay stoic. This is Stoic Drift, signing off.